What's up, guys? Just want to give you a little midday report. It is extremely tough out here. You know, I didn't get started till about 11 o'clock and we're at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've caught a few fish, but I've really had to work for them. You know, the summertime is notoriously tough, especially midday. You know, your first couple hours in the morning you're going to get some bites, and then in the evening, say 5-6 o'clock, the fishing starts to pick up, and it usually continues to get good all the way up until dark, and sometimes throughout the night. But that midday section of the summer is extremely tough. I've been jumping around trying a lot of stuff. I can't get bit up shallow. I punched and threw a frog, did a few other things, just was not happening. So I finally picked up some bites, and what I had to do, this is what I want to talk to you guys about. If you're having difficulty in the summertime, middle of the day, catching fish, which is gonna happen, I don't care where you're at, what part of the country, what lake you're on, it's all the same. It gets really, really tough. The only exception to that would be like a Tennessee River impoundment or something that has current generation in the middle of the day. Typically the fishing will pick up as they start generating more current. But for most lakes, you don't have that luxury of them pulling current, so it just gets tough. And you gotta go finesse. You know, a lot of times you gotta go finesse. If you can't get bites, you definitely gotta go finesse. Let me just talk about a few of the things that I've done today to get some bites. First thing, I had to drop down from the bigger worm. You know, I've been catching fish on a 10-inch worm, and I had to go down to a standard size worm. So been throwing just a 7-inch worm. This is just a power worm, 1/4 ounce weight, 3/0 hook, real finessey. 3 to 4/0. I think 3/0 is just about the perfect size for this, and you need to drop down in your line size. 14-pound test is about perfect for this worm. I've thrown it on heavier, and you just lose a lot of feel. It just causes too much lift. So 14-pound test, 1/4 ounce tungsten weight, 3/0 hook, the EWG. I like the EWG. If you like the traditional round bend worm hook, then go with that. If you're catching fish on it and it's buttoning up, do it. Don't change a thing. There we go. I caught a dang fish. That's fish too. On the old worm. Good quality fish. I mean, he ate it. I'll just let him chew on it. Nice fish. Whew. Caught a nice fish, man. It's been really, really slow. Got to really slow down to get some bites, and they're just kind of pecking at it. They're not thumping it. Feels like a bluegill, but I just kind of let that one chew on it a little bit, and he ended up swallowing it, so I have to cut the hook off. But decent worm fish. The other small worm that I like is the Zoom Mag 2. It's a little bit bigger than the power worm. Not much bigger though. They said it's a 9-inch worm, but it's a lot of tail. It really has a small profile in the water, and that's just a plum apple color. I like plum apple, tequila sunrise, blue fleck. Just, you know, a lot of colors work. Green pumpkin, of course. Whatever you've got confidence in, that mid-sized worm will get you some bites in the summertime when the fishing gets tough. And a couple other things I want to talk to you about. Of course, you can drop down to the Ned rig. I don't have a Ned bait on there because that Elastec stuff, the Z-Man stuff, I like it, but man, you can't let it touch anything else. So I don't rig anything up until I'm going to use it. But that's just a little Cumberland Pro Ned head. It's got a nice keeper on there, nice little wire guard, good solid hook. That'll get you some bites. The shaky head. I like a 3/16 ounce shaky head. I'm fishing out deeper. That's another thing I didn't talk to you about. You know, a lot of times you got to pull out deeper in the summer. They won't be up. They'll be on the outside grass line if you have grass in your lakes. They'll be up under docks if you've got docks on your lakes. But if it's pretty open, other than, you know, an occasional laydown or something, you're gonna have to pull out a little bit. You know, we got a thermocline set up in this lake in about 14 feet, so I've been kind of targeting that 10 to 14 foot zone, and that's where I've been getting most of my bites. But the little shaky head, that is just a little 4-inch yumdinger. Another thing I like to fish on there is just a Zoom finesse worm. There is a ton of good finesse worms, so whatever you have confidence, whatever brand it is, whatever color, watermelon candy, the water's pretty clear right now, but that's a nice little petite bait that'll get you some bites. You know, you're not targeting big fish. Occasionally you will catch a big fish, but right now, in the middle of the day, it's more about just getting some bites and keeping your mind occupied. Because when you go a long period of time without getting a bite, you just get, you know, you get drained. It's 90 plus degrees out here. The water temps are 90. There's very little breeze out here. You know, sometimes the only time you can get out on the water is a day like today, and you have to fish the unopportunistic time frame, you know, the middle of the day in the summertime. It's tough. Man, they're biting so soft, you can't even feel them. I mean, I was trying to feel that fish. I felt him pick it up, but they're just not pulling, they're just sucking on it. Another worm fishing. You know, in summertime, nothing better than a worm. Had to kind of drop down to a little bit smaller worm to get some bites. It's really slow out here. There's no wind. Water temp's like 90 degrees. And these fish, you know, they're really hard to feel when they're biting right now. I'm having a problem with them swallowing the hook because they just barely peck it. It feels like a bluegill bite. And they don't really swim off. They just kind of hold it. So light line, I'm fishing a 14-pound test, 1/4 ounce weight. Just a 7-inch worm with like a 3/0 hook. You don't need too big of a hook. It's a pretty thin worm, but decent fish. One more thing I'll show you, a couple more things I'll show you actually. A Texas rig brush hog, baby brush hog, I'm sorry. Texas rig baby brush hog. Green pumpkin blue is my favorite color of the brush hog. But same thing as the worm, 1/4 ounce weight. You're gonna throw a light line, 14-pound test, 3/0 hook. It works great. 1/4 ounce weight, I think I said that. But you're just fishing that slow. One more thing I'll show you. A couple more things. I brought more out than I thought. The speed crawl. You know, speed crawl is always going to get you some bites if there's fish to get that will bite. It's a really small little crawfish profile. Everybody should have a pack of these in your boat. Your natural colors, green pumpkin blue. June bug is a good color. There's several good colors. Just whatever catches your eye. And the last thing I'll talk about is a really small little finesse jig. This is something around the 1/4 ounce. This is a 5/16 finesse jig, and I've kind of trimmed that collar up to give it that real finesse-y profile. And I like to put a little 4-inch yumdinger on the back. It's kind of like a skirted Ned, basically. You can put a little speed crawl on there. You can put a finesse worm on there, whatever you want, a little small beaver. But one thing I will tell you, you have to fish really, really slow. I mean, it's painstakingly slow. The fish are kind of lethargic in the middle of the day. They're down there deep. There's bait everywhere. A lot of this bait is out suspended. You know, the bait is out off the bank and it's suspended right above the thermocline. And there's fish following them. There's fish chasing them, but they're real hard to get. It's real hard to get those fish to bite. You know, you can spend a lot of time trying to figure it out and not ever make it happen. Now, that's not like that in all lakes. So I'm just talking about the lake I'm in today. There's several lakes out there that's the deal. You know, those schooling bass in the summertime, you can chase them around, especially in the morning and the evenings, and then on overcast days with a little bit of wind, they'll get up to pushing those shad, and you can just run that. But the lake that I'm in right now, it's this fish they just don't act like that. They don't set up like that. They set up, but they just don't respond. So you can spend a lot of time not getting any kind of reaction out of those fish. As far as the shaky head, I'm throwing that on spinning gear. 7-foot medium light rod. I like 15-pound braid, you know, either the moss green or the high vis yellow, and I'll be tying that to a 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. About, you know, 7 to 10 foot a leader, actually probably 7 foot. I don't like it when the knot gets up in your reel, so 7-foot rod. I usually try to keep it around 7 foot. It seems to work out pretty good. You can still retie a couple times and not have to worry about it. 2500 to 3000 series reel, whatever your choice is. I think Shimano makes an excellent spinning reel. Never had any problems with them. But whatever rod you want, it just needs to be a medium to medium light. It's going to have a little bit of tip. And same thing, you're fishing that thing really, really slow. I got a weighted wacky rig on there right now. I was getting ready to throw that around. But that's it, guys. So don't be afraid to get out there in the middle of the day. If you can stand the heat, you can still get a few bites. You're just gonna have to slow down. You're just gonna have to slow down and pick your spots. You're looking for points, looking for rock, looking for wood off the bank. Do a little bit of scanning, find something that looks like it's gonna hold some fish. A lot of times you can't see those fish. They're tucked up in the shade. If you do see fish, certainly turn around and drop a waypoint, go back there and make a few casts and just fish it really, really slow. So I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna eat a sandwich. I got about an hour to fish. I'm gonna see if I can catch a few more fish. Oh. Fish on that worm, you know. Seem like they don't want to hit anything but that worm. Another decent fish. Guys, it has been extremely slow. Only thing I can really get bit on is the smaller worm, so I've had to drop down. You know, I've tried a lot of different stuff, but for some reason they're just wanting the standard size worm today. I keep picking up other stuff and going through stretches and not getting bit, and as soon as I pick up this standard size worm, I start getting bit. So, you know, summertime, sometimes you gotta go a little smaller to get some bites. That's exactly what's going on today. Hey guys, appreciate you coming along. I hope this will give you a little bit of confidence to get out there in the middle of the summer, the dog days of summer, and catch a few fish. If you've got the opportunity to go in the summer, I suggest you go in the morning, the first couple hours, for like sun up to 9, and start your trip again in the evening, 5 to dark. Those are your prime times in the summer, with the exception of, you know, a cloudy, overcast day with a little bit of rain. You know, though that's going to turn the fish on for sure. There we go. I don't know, feels like a better fish. Strong fish for sure. I don't think he's huge, but he's strong. And I'm happy to have him on a day like today. Oh yeah, it's a decent fish, and nothing big, but tough day, no complaints. Bring it around the rosy. Come on up here. There we go. Decent bass. No complaints. There we go. Well, I'm gonna have to go. They're kind of just starting to bite. But get out there in the summertime. Even in the middle of the day, you can get a few bites if you just really, really slow down. Get out off the bank, you know, key in that 15 foot of water or so. Just find you some areas with some good rocks and good cover, and just put your head down, enjoy your day. Little worm was the deal today. Speed crawl, and I think that's it. I can't remember. My brain is fried. It was hot all day long. It was like 90+ degrees out here. No wind, humid. I'm gonna fish for a little bit more, and I'm gonna go to the house. So hey guys, thanks for coming along. Really appreciate it. Subscribe and share it. Hit the little bell notification. Trying to grow the channel. Need your help. Till next time. Hey, no bigs today, but the fish are just starting to bite. I've got to go though. I think if a guy was to stay here and fish till dark, he might come across some big ones, but can't stay all day, you know. Got to keep the peace. Peace.